So hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and this is Ask Sir Matli. So before ako mag-proceed sa aking YouTube channel, so gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa lahat ng mga nag-support sa aking YouTube channel, Facebook page, and then yung Facebook group. And last time is nagkaroon ako ng pag-games and then it is all about me. So nagkaroon ng 15 questions and then sinagot nila and then sabi doon sa isang nanalo is gusto niya i-promote ko daw yung kanyang YouTube channel. So yung kanyang name sa kanyang YouTube channel is ipipin ko po sa aking video tutorial. Kindly support and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Stefanie Grace. So kung gusto niyo po makinig sa malada voice na boses, nagko-cover po siya ng song, then sa mga dance, kung gusto niyo ng mga TikTok compilations, and then kung paano yung journey na ginagawa niya sa kanyang buhay. So, napakaganda po ng YouTube channel niya, talagang mag-i-enjoy po kayo. And then yung link ng kanyang YouTube channel is nandoon sa baba, and then of course, yung mga description na kinakailangan na file sa senior high school modules is nandoon na sa baba. So, I hope na before nyo i-click yung mga description or i-click yung mga PDF sa ating senior high school modules from grade 11 and grade 12, please kindly support our YouTube channel also na kahit yung ilang minuto lang, maklik nyo yung subscribe as support sa kanya. So hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, ang pag-usapan natin ngayon is yung functions. Ang function is napaka-importante, especially sa pag-compute ng inverse, sa composition nito, at syempre kung paano nag-work yung mga operations sa ating functions. So, dito sa part na ito is pag-usapan natin kung paano natin i-determine kung ang ating mga different illustrations, mapping, and set of pairs is function ba siya or not. So, ngayon is first, pag-usapan natin yung mga review. So, kung ano yung mga review sa operations and functions. So, sa operations and functions, so andyan yung addition, subtraction, multiplication, and addition. So, short review lang. So, meron tayong mga examples. So, nandyan yung 3 plus 4, yung 5 plus negative 8, yung negative 4 plus negative 7, and negative 2 plus 8. Alam ko naman na kayang-kaya nyo na ito i-oral. So, once na sinabi natin 3 plus 4 is equivalent to positive 7. And ang 5 plus negative 8, so unlike sign, so pwede nating i-subtract. So, 5 minus 8 is of course negative 3. And ang negative 4 plus negative 11, so i-add natin yung same sign. So, gagawin lang po natin is 4 plus 7 is 11 and just copy the sign. So, meron tayong negative 11. And of course, negative 2 plus 8, so gagawin lang natin is isusubtract lang yan. So meron tayong 6, and of course, ano yung sign ng mas malaki, yun ang ikakopy natin. So we have positive 6. So alam ko naman na kayang-kaya nyo na yan. So next is try natin sa fraction. Andyan yung 5 minus 2, 6 minus 8, andyan din yung negative 4 minus 3, yung 7 minus negative 5. So, once na sinabi natin 5 minus 2, of course, positive 3. And then, ang 6 minus 8, so, cannot be, or sa mga sinasabi nila nung elementary tayo, so, ang 6 minus 8 is, of course, negative 2. And then, ang negative 4 minus 3, of course, negative 7. And then, ang 7 minus negative 5, marami tayong way kung paano natin i-minus to. So, pwedeng interchange natin yung sign. So, once na sinolve natin yan, so meron tayong positive 12. So, yan po sa subtraction. So, konting recap lang ito para kapag nag-proceed tayo sa mga next na higher functions, is hindi na tayo malilito. So, ngayon, itry natin sa multiplication. So, andyan yung 5 times 4, yung 3 times negative 6, yung negative 7 times 4, yung negative 5 times negative 3. So, once na sinabi natin positive 5 times positive 4, we have positive 20. And ang 3 times negative 6, so unlike sign, so meron tayong 18, and then of course ikakopy natin yung sign. So unlike sign siya, so we have negative 18. So positive times negative is negative. So ang negative 7 times 4 is of course negative 28. And then ang negative 5 times negative 3, so we have positive 15. So proceed tayo sa division. So last na review, so we have 20 divided by 4, 15 divided by negative 3, negative 8 divided by negative 2, and negative 30 divided by 6. So positive 20 divided by positive 4, of course we have positive 5. And then ang positive 15 divided by negative 3, so unlike sign, so we have negative 5. So para kapag pinag-multiply natin yung negative 3 sa negative 5, so we have positive 15. So ang negative 8 divided by negative 2, so the same sign, so we have positive 4. So para kapag pinultiply natin yung negative 2 sa positive 4, so we have negative 8. And of course, last, negative 30 divided by 6, so we have negative 5. So ganun din, 6 times negative 5, so we have negative 30. So ngayon is pag-usapan natin yung kunting pagkakaiba o difference ng ating functions sa relations. So kapag sinabi nating relation is just a relationship between sets of information. So tinitingnan lang natin kung ano yung connections ng dalawa nating sets of information or set of ordered pairs. Next is a function. So kapag sinabi nating function, it is a well-behaved relation. So ito yung mas higher sa ating relation na hindi lang natin tinitingnan yung relationship ng dalawang set of information, but also tinitingnan natin kung saan yung starting point, saan tutungo yung or imamap yung bawat function natin. And of course, meron tayong mga proper definition sa pag-determine ng ating function, which is yun yung pag-uusapan natin. Example, yung i-prepare natin yung names at saka heights. So, halimbawa, we can think of this relation as ordered pair. So, pwede natin i-pair yung names at saka heights. Or pwede naman na name at saka heights. Okay lang naman kung kahit saan yan yung piliin nyo, basta yung relation is naka-ordered siya. So, ngayon is, for example, dito sa ating table, mapapansin nyo na meron akong mga names, list of names, and list of heights. So, sa kay Mia, meron siyang corresponding height na 6. Si Jungsuk, so si Lee Jungsuk, meron siyang height na 5 feet and 9 inches. At while si Revilla at saka si Curry is meron silang corresponding na same na height na 5 feet. While si Sheena is meron siyang height na 6 feet and 6 inches. So dito is tinignan natin yung pair, set of order pairs ng name at saka height. So andyan si Mia, si Jungsuk, Revilla, Curry, and Sheena. So yan po yung sample na pwede nating gawin. So yan po yung relationship ng ating name at saka height. So ngayon is tingnan natin yung function notation natin. So ang function notation natin is we have y equals function of x or f of x. So ang variable na x is called independent variable and the variable y is called dependent variable. Dito, maraming nalilito. So, ang technique na lang dito is laging i-remember. So, ang x natin is laging independent. So, ibig sabihin, ang y po is laging nakadepende sa ating value ng ating x. So, ang y natin is laging nagre-reflect kung ano yung value ng ating x. For example, sa ating function of x, meron tayong y equals 2x. Kung ang x natin is 1, so ang y natin is 2. So, paano nakuha yung 2? Of course, 2 times 1. Which is equivalent to 2. So, ibig sabihin, ang x po natin is nag-stand alone. So, ibig sabihin, siya yung independent variable. So, hindi siya nakadepende ng kahit anong klase ng values, pero meron siyang agad-agad na trinitreat na values. While yung variable y is always nakadepende sa value ng ating x. So, dyan na din natin mapag-usapan mamaya yung tinatawag na domain and range. So, for convenience, we use function of x instead of y. So ngayon is pag-usapan natin konting recap lang sa ating domain and range. So suppose we are given a function from x into y. So recall, for each element of small x and big X, there is exactly one corresponding element y, which is yung small y, in big Y. Every x value sa ating big X is meron siyang corresponding na makukuhang value or element sa ating small y, sa ating big Y. So ibig sabihin lang na once na meron tayong X value is meron tayong may-reflect or mamamap na corresponding value sa ating Y. And then this element y equals function of x in y, we call the image of x. So ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon tayo ng reflection or image ng x sa ating y. So makikita nyo yan later on. So the domain of a function is the set x. That is the collection of all possible x values. So tandaan nyo na ang domain of the function is yun po yung possible na mga values na makukuha natin or possible na values na as long as hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng error or discrepancy sa ating values. While the range of the function is the set of all images. So tandaan nyo all images as x varies throughout the domain. So ibig sabihin, yung range natin is laging yun yung reflection ng ating mga x values. So halimbawa, meron tayong x values, then once na sinubstitute natin yung x values sa ating function, magkakaroon tayo ng image which is yung y. And then yan yung ating range. So ang range is nakadepende parati sa ating x values. So tingnan natin sa ating example. So ang domain natin kanina is yung Mia, Jungsuk, Revilla, Curry, and Sheena. So yun po yung ating domain, and of course ang range po natin is yung kanyang height. Mia is 6 feet, si Jungsuk is 5 feet and 9 inches, si Revilla at saka si Curry is meron silang corresponding na range na 5 feet, and then si Sheena is meron siyang 6 feet and 6 inches. So ibig sabihin nagkakaroon ng image. So si Mia is independent, and of course yung kanyang height is yun yung ating range. So nakadepende yung height kung sino yung taong yun. So ngayon is pag-usapan na natin yung function. Ano nga ba yung proper na definition ng ating function? So a function is a relation. So a relation po siya in which each element of the domain is paired with exactly one. So remember, exactly one element of the range. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong relationship sa ating element sa domain na laging may kaparehas na exactly one lang sa ating range. So later on, itatry natin i-determine yan. So marami tayong illustration of function kung paano natin i-determine kung yung ating mga relationship or relations is function ba siya or not. So andyan yung set of ordered pair, mapping or arrow diagram. So yung arrow diagram is by illustration, and yung graphing is for Cartesian plane. So ngayon is i-try natin sa ating set of ordered pair. So andyan yung x, which is our first element, which is yun yung ating independent variable, and then yung y is our second element. So yan po yung dependent variable. So yan po yung domain, yung ating x, and then yung y or yung second element is yun yung ating range. So ngayon proceed tayo sa set of ordered pair. So a set of ordered pair, so andyan yung x and y. So ang x nasa first and yung y is yung second pair. So meron tayong mga examples. So meron tayong list of ordered pairs. So sa number 1, so meron tayong list na 3, 2, 4, 0, 5, 1, and 2, 3. So sa second na sets natin, so meron tayong 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 6, and 5, 4. So sa third na example natin, so meron tayong another list of sets. So andyan yung 3, 4, 3, 0, 3, 1, and 3, 3. And for our last na list, so andyan yung 4, 2, 3, 2, 6, 2, and 5, 2. Ngayon sa 4 na to is i-determine natin kung function ba siya or not. So yan is ma-determine natin based sa ating definition sa taas. So a function is a relation in which each element of the domain is paired with exactly one element of the range. So first is tingnan natin sa unang example. So titingnan natin yung ating domain. So ang domain natin is 3, 4, 5, and 2. So nakita nyo na magkakaiba yung ating element. And then mapapansin nyo na yung ating mga y pair or yung mga y elements is 2, 0, 1, and 3. So magkakaiba din yung ating elements. Ngayon kung titingnan natin sa ating definition na bawat domain natin is meron tayong paired na exactly one din na element sa ating range. So wala tayong nakitang naulit na mga element sa ating domain. So ibig sabihin, we can say na ang ating number 1 is function. Since bawat domain is meron siyang corresponding na paired na exactly one element sa ating range. So yung 3 is for 2 lang, yung 4 is for 0 lang, yung 5 is for 1 lang, and yung 2 is for 3. So, ibig sabihin, clear na na-satisfy niya yung ating definition for function. So, number 1 is an example of a function. So, next example is yung 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 6, and 5, 4. So, kung papansinin natin yung ating domain, so meron tayong 1, 0, 1, 4. So, mapapansin nyo na meron tayong na-repeat na element sa domain which is 1 sa 2 and 1 sa 6. So, kung papansinin natin na sinabi sa function na dapat exactly each element is i-paired lang siya sa isang element sa ating range. Pero it turns out na yung ating domain is na-paired siya sa dalawang element sa ating range. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating domain is nagkaroon siya ng one-to-many na relationship. So, ibig sabihin, ang ating number 2 is not a function since napaka-clear na doon sa definition is paired with exactly one element. But it turns out that our domain is paired with 2 elements sa ating range. So we can say that number 2 is not a function. So now is proceed tayo sa number 3. So andyan yung 3, 4, 3, 0, 3, 1, and 3, 3. So, sa ating definition, sinabi ng ating domain is paired with exactly one element. Pero it turns out, sa number 3 is na paired siya multiple or many relationship. So, ibig sabihin yung ating domain which is 3 is hindi lang siya na partner sa 4. Na partner pa siya sa 0, sa 1, and 3. So, we can say that our third example is not a function also. So, napansin nyo na ang 3 is hindi lang siya nakontento sa isa, but nakontento siya sa iba. So, ibig sabihin, our number 3 is paired with more than one element sa ating range. So, we can say that number 3 is not a function. And number 4, 4, 2, 3, 2, 6, 2, and 5, 2. So, tingin nyo, function ba yan or not? The answer is function po ang number 4. Okay lang po na yung range natin is kahit isang element as long as yung ating domain is hindi po siya na paired sa multiple na elements sa ating range. So, ibig sabihin, ang 4, 2, 3, 2, 6, 2, and 5, 2 is an example of a function. Consider natin dito is kailangan na yung domain natin is dapat magkakaiba yung elements. So, okay lang na magkaroon tayo ng coincidence na same value sa ating range as long as yung domain po natin is hindi po siya na mamap sa maraming value sa ating range. So, i-try natin sa ating another illustration of function. So, andyan po yung mapping or arrow diagram. Ito yung pinakagusto ko since ito yung pinakamadali since titignan mo lang siya through diagram or mapping. So, yung 3 is na map siya sa A, yung 4 is na map siya sa B, and yung 5 is na map siya sa C. So, ibig sabihin, napansin nyo doon sa ating first example na bawat domain is na paired siya exactly one element of the range. Therefore, number 1 is an example of function. Napansin nyo, bawat element sa ating X is meron siyang paired sa ating Y. So, meron silang partner. Magka-partner si 3 at saka si A, si 4 sa B, and 5 sa C. And next is yung number 2 example. 2 is na map siya sa 9, yung 3 is na map siya sa 9, and yung 6 is na map siya sa 4. So, sa tingin nyo, function ba yan or not? The answer is function. Why? So, sabi ko nga, okay lang na yung ating Y is marami siyang kapartner, basta yung ating X is dapat isa lang. So, yung 2 is na-map siya sa 9, and then yung 3 is accidentally or sabihin na natin coincidence din na nakapartner din niya si 9. And si 6 is nakapartner din niya si 4. So, ibig sabihin, bawat element sa ating domain is meron siyang partner sa ating Y. And then, how about sa ating third example? Yung 3 is na-map siya sa 1, yung 3 is na-map siya sa 2, and then yung 3 is na-map siya sa 4. So, napakadaling i-determine that number 3 is not a function. Ibig sabihin, yung ating 3 is nagkaroon siya ng paired with 3 elements of the range. So, ibig sabihin, we cannot consider the number 3 as an example of a function. What about number 4? 5, na-map siya sa 4. Yung 2, na-map siya sa 6. And yung 3, wala siyang na-map. It is a function or not? the answer is not a function. Why? Kahit na napansin nyo na yung 5 to 4 and 2 to 6 is nagkaroon ng paired, pero sabi doon sa ating definition na each element of the domain is dapat meron siyang paired. But it turns out that number 3 is wala siyang kapartner. So ibig sabihin, hindi niya na-satisfy yung ating definition na kailangan yung bawat domain natin is meron siyang partner. So therefore, number 4 is not a function. So maraming nalilito din dito. At least now, nung pinanood mo to, naklaro at mas lalo mong naintindihan yung ating function. So we can say that number 4 is not a function also, since yung ating 3 is wala siyang partner na element or wala siyang na-create the image sa ating values of x. So sa number 1, we can see na nagkaroon tayo ng 1-to-1 relation, and then sa number 2 is many-to-one relation, number 3 is meron tayong 1-to-many relation, so and number 4, not all elements are represented. And for our last, so andyan yung vertical line test or yung tinatawag nating pencil test. So ang definition po natin, if any vertical line, so ang vertical line nakatayo, passes through more than one point of the graph, then that relation is not a function. So ganun lang kadali. Once na nagkaroon tayo ng multiple na vertices or intersection sa ating graph, then that relationship or relation is not a function. So kailangan one vertex or one point of intersection ang kailangan nating makita sa ating function once na nag-draw tayo ng vertical line. So tingnan natin sa ating example. So andyan yung first illustration, second illustration, third illustration, and fourth illustration. So mapapansin nyo na yung black na line, iyan po yung ating relation. And then yung red line, iyan po yung vertical line test. Yan po yung draw natin. So kailangan kapag sa vertical line test or pencil test is magdodraw tayo parati ng isang vertical line. So yan po yung kahit saan nyo ilagay, basta naka-vertical line siya at dapat na-intersect niya yung ating mga relation. So number 1 is nagkaroon tayo ng intersection, and then number 2 nagkaroon ng intersection, number 3 is nagkaroon ng intersection, and number 4 nagkaroon ng intersection. Ngayon titingnan natin yung first na image or graph. Is that an example of function or not? That example is a function since nagkaroon lang tayo ng exactly one vertex. So we can say that that is a function. And then number 2 is also a function. So ibig sabihin exactly one vertex or one point of intersection ang nakita natin sa example number 2, which is perpendicular line. So we have function sa number 2, and what about sa number 3? So sa number 3 is nag-draw tayo ng vertical line sa ating function. So nagkaroon tayo ng overlapping, then ibig sabihin yan po is hindi function. Then last, number 4 is a function since nagkaroon din lang ng isang line. So ibig sabihin sa ating mga graph is isa lang yung hindi function, which is yung vertical line or yung vertical na ating illustration, which is yung number 3. So and the rest is an example of a function. Or ngayon is ipakita ko lang yung gusto nyong mga example kung i-determine nyo kung ito is mga relation or not. So andyan yung A, B, C, and D. So kayo na mag-determine kung function ba siya or not, and then i-comment nyo lang yung sagot sa ating comment section. Kayo na bahala mag-determine kung yung A is a relation, yung B is a relation ba, kung yung C is a relation or not, yung D is a relation or not. And then ganon din dito is this relation function, which is the mapping arrow diagram. So kayo na mag-determine kung yung first na mapping is function or not, and second is function or not. And then ganon din sa ating last activity, which is yung group drill. So kayo na rin mag-determine kung yung A, B, C, D is oh yes kapag function and oh no kapag not function. So i-comment nyo na lang yung mga sagot nyo, and then i-check ko kung tama yung inyong mga ginawa. And then of course, for the last activity, so kayo din mag-determine yung ating mga table, which is yung X, we have -3, 0, 3, 8, and -10, and yung Y is 6, 8, 20, 4, and 8. So kayo na mag-determine kung yung number 1 is function or not, and then yung number 2 is yung 412, 415, 518, 521, and 624 kung function siya or not. So sabi ni Brian Tracy, there are no limits to what you can accomplish except the limits you place on your own thinking. So yun guys, thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.